We ended up having 84 or 86 guests.
The challenge was trying to keep it to that number. We had people inviting themselves to it. Some people didn't even know us. And there's a whole rack of suits that are on sale, and I can't find one that fits. No suit in that store fits me.
The little white chapel.
Yeah, the little white chapel. And she chose it, but I didn't see the location or anything like that. I just agreed to it. As soon as I jumped out the car, I was greeted with tombstones.
Why didn't you tell me there were tombstones? I'm like, there's tombstones?
And I was completely caught off guard. I don't want to get married there.
About 2.5 years ago, he was new to Kingston, and he had a friend in town that was just introducing him to a whole bunch of people, and he showed him my profile online. We kind of met each other that way and started talking on the phone and ended up going out on our first date together. It was actually a big surprise to me. It was on my birthday, so I thought that he was just doing a regular birthday surprise type of thing, and it ended up that he took me out to dinner at a really nice restaurant here in town, and we sat through dinner and everything, and I kind of thought that was the surprise. And then at the end, he had given the bartender the ring, and it came in a glass of champagne. And so he stood up and announced to the whole restaurant the engagement, got down on his knee.
Wow.
Yeah, completely did the whole works and everything, did a lot of organizing and planning.
To capture a moment is to relive a memory forever. Take care of all your memories, for you cannot relive them. A special wedding video allows you to take care of those memories of love, of family, of friendship, and relive them for eternity. We strive to capture every moment of your special day, to live on through video, to be shared with the ones you love. Sometimes you will never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory.
Yeah, when we first got engaged, there wasn't any one particular thing that stood out to me as a must-have. I wasn't necessarily one of those girls that had like a whole bridal book already, and I didn't have the pillowcase on my head as a child walking around the house, that kind of thing. Just the overall feel of the day, we just wanted to make sure that it was a real nice, calm, God-centered day that was about us and our union. Other than that, there wasn't any particular detail that was a must-have for the day. My bouquet I bought from an art studio in Picton on Main Street. It was one of their local artists. I had gone in, I think it was right after we got engaged, like within the week of getting engaged, I went in and I'm like, saw it and fell in love with it. I'm like, I can't buy the bouquet first, you know, that's not the way you do it. And I went home and I was thinking about it. So the next week I went back to the art studio in Picton and purchased the bouquet, and that's kind of where the theme grew from. It was a bouquet that was made out of all like tulle, lace, brooches, beads, everything that was non-flower. And so from there grew kind of the theme for the wedding of a flowerless wedding, being inventive of different materials and different decorations to use. We decided to get married in Picton, that's my hometown, and I've seen a lot of people get married at the little white chapel. Very cute, and it's very historic. It was the first chapel ever built in the county in 1809, I think it was, and just really quaint little place to get married.
And she chose it, but I didn't see the location or anything like that. I just agreed to it. And then when finally came the time for me to take a look at that, as soon as I jumped out the car, I was greeted with tombstones coming out the back and trickling into the front. And I was completely caught off guard, because that's the last thing I'd want to do would be to get married in the presence of you know, people that have passed away. So it floored me. I went away saying I didn't want to have no part with it and stuff like that. From the background that I have in my country, I'm not used to that, and that's how traditional churches originally were, and it's something that I didn't realize. So after a couple of days, I let it all sink in, and I did eventually agree to that beautiful place. But initially, that's the scenario we were dealing with me saying, I don't want to get married there. But now I'm saying things like, well, that was the church where you die, you give birth, and you get married at the same time. I'm proud to be a part of that history, but initially, it really caught me off guard.
We went around to a few different locations in Picton looking for a reception area. Saw a few different general locations that were suggested to us. As soon as we walked into the Picton Golf and Country Club, and you take a look at that back wall that's just all windows overlooking the Bay of Quinte, we knew we had found our place right there. It was just a fantastic looking location. And then as soon as we met the owner and operator, Jenny Lee, that runs all of the special occasions through the Picton Golf and Country Club, she was just so helpful, so outgoing, just kind of went above and beyond for us, and so we knew right away that that was the place that we needed to have our reception area.
Right. And the goal that we had for our wedding was intimate and small, and
we ended up having 84 or 86 guests attend.
Yes, we wanted to keep it around that number. And it was a challenge, because the challenge was trying to keep it to that number. We had people inviting themselves to it. We had people just continually wanting to join in. Some people didn't even know us. Some individuals didn't know us, and we were just very surprised. But we were able to keep it at that number, so that was good.
Mm-hmm. I decided to go with somewhere local for my invitations. Looking online, there was some contests around Christmas time. I had liked on Facebook a number of different invitation companies. It's a company called 2112 Designs, and there was a contest to share their page, and she was giving away some free programs for the wedding, as well as a seating chart, and I happened to win the seating chart. My sister had entered for me and won some free programs from her. So as soon as we won these free gifts, it was no-brainer to go to her for the actual invitations themselves. We met a few times, and she had a whole book of different options, different papers, that kind of things. She worked really closely with us, did a lot of emailing back and forth, where I would change my mind and make little tweaks. At first I started off saying, you know, I'm pretty easygoing, whatever you want, just kind of word it how you'd like, and she would send me the first copy, and then I'd change something and change something. I ended up rewriting the whole invitation and being a little more particular than I thought. But Amanda was really good with me, and really helpful, and ended up coming up with the perfect invitation, exactly how I had envisioned. I had also won a free seating chart from her, so she was able to just take the design of my invitation and keep that as the theme going. And I was really impressed with the format that she had for the wedding programs, rather than the just regular little card. She had designed a cute little booklet for us that opened up and had some different pictures and the different dates and everything along the side of it, so it was really beautiful. I decided to go shopping at the pop-up wedding gown shop. So I had seen online that this shop buys old seasons wedding dresses, which to me, if I like a dress, I like a dress. I don't necessarily care what season it's from. So yeah, pop-up wedding gown shop buys dresses and then travels from city to city and sets up their sale racks in different areas. And so when they came to Kingston, I decided to go, and all of their gowns are from $99 to $4.99, and I thought, you can't beat those kinds of prices. And I went in and I tried on I think I tried on every dress that was within a size too small to 2 sizes too big, just looking for anything. And this was one of the first dresses I tried on, and I just left it in the dressing room and just kept on trying other ones on, went back, tried on some others, went back, and by the end of the day, I'm like, decision is definitely made. I've tried enough other options. This is the look that I'm going for.
So for my suit, basically some of the challenges that I have with suits is that they don't fit me across the shoulders the way they should, and either it's going to fit me too tight and I'll be constricted, or if I try to get a suit that fits, it's going to be really baggy because just the angles don't work for myself. Or the other option is to get it tailored, of course, and that costs a lot of money, so I didn't want to go to that route. So it was Christmas, and we're at Tip Top Tailors, and there's a whole rack of suits that are on sale, and I can't find one that fits. No suit in that store fits me. And I'm thinking to myself, what is the benefit of being healthy and fit if I can't even get a bargain for certain things? I was starting to really reconsider my fitness, but I started to pray right away, of course. We found one tucked away in the corner out of the whole shop that fit me just right. Didn't even need to be tailored or hemmed or anything like that. I was just very fortunate to be able to find a suit that just fits just right on Christmas. I just realized that as a person, I should, when I feel a certain way or pretty hot about a situation, just let it sink in, let it process for a couple, and then maybe make a decision there. So that's a valuable thing I've learned. Because on the spot, it's like, it's all done, it's over.
Yeah.
So shoes for myself, I got it in Kingston at a place called Tootsie's. I just wanted to get some shiny looking shoes, and so mine look pretty good. They were, the person that helped me said they weren't traditional, because traditional wedding shoes have, they have laces on them, and mine had a nice little metal looking clip. And really, when I saw them in some of the pictures, I still was happy that I had those shoes. So yeah, that's usually for guys. I don't think it's too much of a big deal, and you helped me. You pretty much picked it out for me. So
Yeah.
but I was happy with them.
Yeah, like the little clip on it, and
Yeah.
they looked really, really good.
Yep.
The shoes that I bought them from Steps in the mall. I had to be careful because my dress came down just right to the ground, so I didn't want anything with too much of a heel, which is fine, all about comfort on the wedding day. You don't need heels because people don't see your shoes all that often anyway. As well, I wanted something that I could possibly wear again, so I went in and they had all their summer sandals out and found a pair of white with some gold on it, and gold was one of my accent colors, so I thought perfect and got those. Very happy with them. They were comfortable for the day. Far owns a business called Visionary Fitness, and so leading up to the wedding, I knew I wanted to get a little more in shape and be in some of the best condition that I could be in for the wedding. So definitely we went on a little bit of a spurt where we made sure that we were eating correctly, and you became my personal trainer for me to get me looking the way I had envisioned for the wedding day.
Yeah, we strategically increased our activity level and combined it with resistance training, and also we took a look at our diet and scaled our daily caloric intake just a little bit lower, just so we can get into some fat burning. She says that the dress was fitting better.
Yes.
But it was good. It was just normal everyday life, training and getting ready for your wedding. So you did well.
Thank you. Thanks to help of Visionary Fitness.
That's right.
The hardest part with planning the wedding was the seating chart. Once you start getting all of the RSVPs back, start placing everyone together, and then somebody decides, oh, I can't actually come, so there's 4 less people, and that just made all of the tables uneven. And how many nights was I up just trying to organize all of the people in the right spots to make sure that the tables were even and the right family members were all together.
That was the hardest part. of the wedding for
you?
me too, was you dealing with the seating
the
plan.
seating plan.
It was amazing. She did so well, okay? Like so many things that she overcame. And, you know, I had asked her, because I'm focusing on the business and stuff like that, so Lena did a lot. And then when it came to this one thing, it slew her. So it was really interesting that she got caught up with something like that, but overcame everything else. So the seating plan.
Yes.
Classic.
At MT's Wedding Design, we ensure that every client receives our full attention when it comes to planning an event. We offer full design and setup, as well as rental options for those DIY brides. With a wide variety of linens and decor pieces to choose from, the possibilities are endless. It's our passion to make every wedding unique while keeping your vision in mind. Set up your consultation today.
Where we got our rings, we bought from Fiancé Jewelers here in Kingston. Bought it from the jeweler that works there, Rula. She helped me pick it out. She spent a lot of time making sure that it was something that had the right kind of edges and lines that would go along with my engagement ring. My family made the rest of the bouquets for the bridesmaid and the junior bridesmaids just out of some feathers and some jewels and all kinds of fun little whimsical items.
And the boutonnieres for the guys, your family made them as well. And I heard that you guys were getting frustrated at some point trying to put it together, because the way that they did it was actually, you know, when I was looking at you guys doing it, I just thought you were just doing some. But when it was together with the peacock feather and stuff like that, I realized there was a lot of thought and it looked really good on us guys. So I appreciated it, and I think we all did. My dad was probably pretty proud to put it on. So you guys did really well.
Yeah.
I think there's more value in the way that you approached the boutonniere and everything like that. So
Thank you. Yeah, we needed to find something that wasn't a flower, and we wanted to add gold. So the hardest part was this little spiral piece of wood that was gold, and it just threw everything off and didn't let it lay flat. So it took a little longer than we thought, but I think that they turned out in the end just how we were expecting.
very nice.
Yeah. So I enjoy doing some crafts, and growing up my mom always did arts and crafts. So we went and just got some nice lilac branches before they bloomed, and just designed our own centerpieces. The tables at the golf club where we got married was all really nice wooden tables, so we knew we didn't need to get tablecloths or spend much money on linens and that kind of thing. So we went to Fabricland and just bought bolts of fabric and cut table runners out of some sparkle gold fabric so that any sort of light would reflect off of that. And for the ceiling, we did some Chinese lanterns hanging from the ceiling that are always kind of classic and nice looking. We got those when we were in Toronto in Chinatown. We just went into their stores there and got a good deal by buying in bulk with them. And I think it all turned out quite well. It all melded together very nicely and turned out the way we were.
Yeah, it had a very classy feel to it, and a lot of people were telling me how impressed they were. And so the what you felt, the atmosphere and how everything came together and with the location, it was impressive to me as well, just seeing it for the first time, because I saw everything being put together from scratch, but I didn't get to see how it was as the finishing product until I actually entered into there. So you had the vision, but it was beautiful. It was really nice.
Yeah, very happy with it.
You've spent months, maybe even years, putting together your perfect wedding. You've planned every detail, put together every gift, and tied every bow. But still, there's something missing. Bragging rights! Finally, Kingston's first reality wedding series is here. Have your wedding featured on Hometown Bride and finally get your moment of fame. Visit hometownbride.kxomedia.ca and apply today. All featured weddings come with free video coverage from Above the Line Media. There are only 12 weddings featured per year.
With this ring,
I thee wed,
in
in the name of the Father,
the name of the Father,
and of the Son,
and of the Son,
and of the Holy Spirit.
and of the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Amen.
With this ring,
With this ring,
I thee wed,
I declare,
in the name of the Father,
in the name of the Father,
and of the Son,
and of the Son,
and of the Holy Spirit.
and of the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Amen.
I pronounce them man and wife together in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. You may kiss your bride.
Yeah, the place I chose to get ready was the Nine Gables Bed and Breakfast. I thought a bed and breakfast would be the best idea because it's a little more intimate and you get your breakfast and kind of just relax for the whole day. So I just looked online at who had the nicest pictures. I was picturing getting ready and doing all of the pictures of the dress and that kind of thing, and this room had these beautiful red walls, so I thought that's the one I'm going to get ready at. The hairdresser we chose because he's been Bar's hairdresser since you've moved to Kingston a number of years, Gustavo, and he's also become a friend of ours through years of getting hair done there.
So Gustavo is the individual that did your hair, and he came down from Kingston to do that for her. And he is a friend. Over time we've developed that relationship, but what's really cool about him is that having the ethnic background that I have, I'm mixed, so it makes it even more challenging. My hair is straight and then curly as it grows, and there's no one can do that in Kingston. I came here to an Italian place, I said, can you do a fade? He's like, fade? What? So it was really challenging to be in Kingston and to get lined up the way I do, you know? And he's the only person in Kingston that could do that for me. He works at a place in Frontenac Mall called Morello's. The only guy. I mean, he just gave me the fade today for this video too. So I definitely have to give a shout out to him. So Mr. Gustavo.
Mr. And makeup, I knew Lacey Lalonde through a coworker of mine. She's a friend of a coworker, and she's done another coworker's wedding makeup. And so I contacted her, and she was able to do the makeup, which was really great. The makeup look that I was going for, I knew I wanted simple, but a little more than I naturally do. I don't wear much makeup. And I went for a trial with the makeup artists, Lacey and Leanne, and they right away took a look at me and made some recommendations, which is what I would naturally have been inclined to do anyway. I more or less left it up to the makeup artist, left the decisions in the experts' hands.
So for the ceremony, how we came about with that is we wanted to be traditional. We wanted to have a Christian overtone to it in line with our beliefs and our lifestyle. We also needed a pastor to perform it as well, and our pastors would be here in Kingston. Some weren't available, and so we had a pastor come from the United States to marry us. And he had a specific way of doing things. We thought we were traditional. He was even more traditional than us, where in the process of the ceremony, he would have us sit down and he would proceed with a sermon for us and everybody that's present. And that's a style of, usually that's not something that's done anymore, but when we went through it, it was in line with everything, with the building, with the feel, the undertone, and so we were very grateful at the end for him to have done that.
We pictured with the little white chapel that we had that we would arrive in a nice horse and buggy and be very old school and stay in that time period and that kind of thing. And so we called them up right away. The issue was that they had a horse that had a lame leg, and they had no idea if it would heal in time, and so we just held off thinking, of course the horse will heal in time. That's what we want for our wedding. And so we didn't bother making any other arrangements for transportation because we just figured something would work out. So what was it, 3 days before the wedding, was it, that we decided we would rent a car. So we just called up the local rental places here in Kingston and ended up going with, what was it that we...
I think it was a 215 Dodge Charger.
Yeah.
So I wanted to rent a car that I would ultimately be buying. So we ended up renting a really fast and powerful car. So and it was nice. We got white, just in line with getting married and stuff like that, and sped all the way to. No, I drove safely all the way to Picton and back.
The Picton Golf Club did all of the food for us as well. The owners of the Picton Golf Club also own the Acoustic Grill right in Picton, and I've eaten there a number of times, and it's really fantastic food. So she had a nice sample menu for us to choose from, and we were very pleased with the way that all of the food turned out.
Yes.
We got a lot of compliments about how great it all tasted, and yeah, they just went above and beyond with all the different options and choices for us. We really appreciated that. The cake that we chose was from Katrina's Cakes in Belleville. I wanted somewhere a little more local to Picton for delivery and that kind of thing. A friend of mine on Facebook just kept posting all of these wonderful cakes that she got from Katrina's and just raving about them. So we booked an appointment to go in for a consultation with them. We try to eat gluten-free as much as we can. So we decided to go with gluten-free chocolate for the top layer, and it's fantastic that they offer a gluten-free option. I had purchased some ribbon to go around the cake, and it wasn't big enough to make the little bow that I wanted as the design on it. So Emily, that was in charge of my cake, decided to go out to a store and purchase some extra ribbon for me just to make sure that the bow looked just right and was the right kind of ribbon, and so they went above and beyond to make our vision of the wedding cake a reality for us. With the internet and all these fantastic ideas that you see, and you see all kinds of different shows about how to plan your wedding and that kind of thing, it's easy to get caught up in going above and beyond what you need to do for just the one day. It's only one day out of your life, really. So we took our time just making sure that we didn't go above and beyond what was necessary for the day or what we had already had in mind for the day. We tried to stick true to who we were and have things low-key, relaxed, enjoyable for everybody that day.
And also, a wedding is the ultimate representation of our Lord and the church being the bride. That's what the wedding was initially created to give us an idea of that our relationship with God isn't formal, it's intimate, where our deepest needs are met. And that's the biblical definition of a wedding. And so when we were getting married, those were the guiding principles that centered us. And so those are the things that we tirelessly wanted to focus on. When individuals had different ideas and stuff, we were always like, well, how does this align with our belief? How does this align with what makes sense for us? So I think that focusing on the truth and origin of marriage really affected our wedding and its effect on people that were there and stuff like that. And yes, it was simple, but we were looking for quality rather than quantity. It's a principle we're always dealing with in every area of our life. You have a lot of friends, or you have 2 or 3 friends that you're really close with. So it's really a quality over quantity thing. Makes it go a long way.